Good day, my plant foldies. Today we'll be converting plants to semi-hydroponics. This is a relaxing plant chore series that I will be providing on the channel. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video, as well as following me on Instagram at GrowFolds. I will be taking you on a journey today on how to convert plants to semi-hydro substrate called Leca. Step one is to obviously take the plant that you want to convert into semi-hydro substrate like Leca by taking and removing the soil of the plant. So I will be showing you several of these Aglaonema that I ended up buying at a local nursery called Callaway's. This is out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There are several locations there. And for those that are new to the channel, my name is Richie and I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. I typically do big box store plant shopping videos, but I'm trying something a little bit different for the New Year's, and that's to show you some more of my personal plants that I have in my plant collection. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this installment. I won't be doing nearly as much talking as I typically do for my big box store. The intent is to really just show and tell what I do as far as converting my plants. So you already know I went ahead and got some of these Aglaonema. This is the Aglaonema Green Army, and you can see that there are 3 Aglaonema in this 4-inch planter. I only got this plant for $9.99, so it's a really good price. So what you want to do is carefully remove the soil from the pots and then definitely set these plants to the side. You can see that the roots are super healthy. What I'm going to do next is obviously once I remove the soil from the roots, I will go ahead and wash these roots thoroughly and then go to the next process. But as you can see here, I'm taking my time and being super careful about the plants. Now, for those that don't know what semi-hydroponics is, it's basically a combination of a substrate. You can use Leca, which are clay balls, or you can use lechuza pond. Those are very popular semi-hydro substrates. And what I'm going to do is actually put them in that substrate and then also put them in a self-watering planter. Now, some people will actually just put the plant in a jar with the Leca balls in there, but I like to have a self-watering planter with a net pot, so that way if I need to flush or clean the substrate, I would be able to just remove it instead of having to drain the actual jar. So that's what I'm going to do. And you can see right over here, this is an Aglaonema. I'm not sure what the plant ID is, but you can see that the roots are super root bound, and so I'm going to go ahead and separate that. I will show you several of these plants, so let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you have any questions, and hopefully you find this video relaxing. I am doing more plant chore videos, so if you like this kind of content, please make sure you are not only hitting the like button for this video, but also commenting, sharing, and also subscribing to the channel with all the notification bell on. You can see that I am trying to shake out as much of the soil as much as possible, because whenever you put this in a semi-hydro substrate, you don't really want to have a lot of soil in the semi-hydro substrate like Leca, because that could open up for root rot. You want to make sure that the roots is clean and sterile as possible. So let's go ahead and continue this process. I have a couple of plants that I will be converting today. And again, plant foldies, it's very important to be careful when you're removing the soil substrate from the plant. So I'm just being very meticulous about taking all of the little crevices and getting rid of all of the soil. You can see that Aglaonema typically have 1 or 2 plants in the planter. So that's another way if you want to like separate the plant and get 2 plants for the price of 1. Now I'm depending on what I want to do, whether I want to go ahead and convert these into 1 plant planter, or if I want to get 2 plants out of it, I'll decide later on. But as you can see right here, I am just cleaning as I go, and I will reuse this soil and planter at some point again. But you can see that this is the Aglaonema stripes. Beautiful plant. And Aglaonema, even though they are drought tolerant, low light tolerant, converting plants to semi-hydroponics makes the care and watering a lot easier, even more simple. And that's what I really need, especially with the new year. You know, 2025 is all about going back to the basics. And you can see this is another gorgeous Aglaonema. Not sure what the plant ID is, but it's got that beautiful coloration as well. So we're going to continue to clean off the roots and get rid of the soil. And the next plant we're going to convert is this Monstera Thai Constellation that I bought while going big box store plant shopping at Walmart. Walmart has been doing a lot of plant restocks, and I ended up getting this one for a really good price. This was for $29.97 in a 5-inch planter by Growers Bench. Again, if you haven't made it to Walmart, definitely check out Walmart. They have a bunch of variegated plants, a bunch of rare and uncommon philodendrons hitting the market, and I would just suggest going there if you want to get a Monstera Thai Constellation. So this is my first time actually converting a Monstera Thai Constellation into semi-hydro, and you can clearly see that the roots are super root bound to the point where I'm a little bit afraid of how I'm going to actually get the roots out. I may end up having to water this or use some type of hose to really clean out the roots. I don't want to do too much damage to the roots, but sometimes whenever a plant is over just root bound, you're going to take some casualties. You're going to have to break up some of the roots, which means you're going to have to either pull them apart, cut them up to make some space. So I'm going to try this, but I don't think that the roots are going to come out as easily as the Aglaonema I've shown you earlier. So it's going to be a little bit of a tedious process, which at this point, I think I'm just going to go ahead and wash off the roots and clean them up. So I'm going to skip that process because it's going to take a little bit more time. But clearly, I am just trying to separate and loosen up the soil. So the second step to converting plants to semi-hydroponic substrates is once you get rid of the soil, initial soil, you're going to have to do a little bit more detailed cleaning in making sure that the roots have as little to no soil substrate as much as possible. Now I'm starting out with the most challenging one of all of the plants that I'm going to be converting today because I've had to cut back some of the roots, and hopefully that doesn't shock the Monstera Thai Constellation too much since it did have to take some of the roots out, but I've been able to get the majority of the soil off. There is still a couple of soil stuck to the roots. I don't think I'll be able to get all of the soil off of it, but the most important thing is to try to get as close to as little soil as possible and just to really monitor the plant. Obviously, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the details and care of semi-hydro, but this is just me using my sink. And honestly, if North Dallas wasn't going to have some really cold weather, I would use a hose outside. I wouldn't really recommend cleaning your plants in a sink because you don't really want to clog up your sink. Luckily, I have a really good garbage disposal, but as you can see right here, I will be just rinsing out all of the other plants that I have. I'll go ahead and make sure that every single plant has been rinsed, and then the next step would be to disinfect and spray the plants with preventative pest control. I'm going to use a DIY neem oil spray that I call my Foldy Mist. I will also go into the details on how to create that solution, but you can see right here, I will take all of the Aglaonema and just wash these thoroughly. So enjoy the relaxing water sounds. I do hope that you enjoy the ASMR throughout this video. That is actually the original content that I had on this plant channel. A lot of it has really pivoted obviously to plant shopping videos. I am now trying to evolve and get you a little bit more personalized plant content, and eventually I will show you my house plant tour. But for now, hopefully you guys like this new content of me showing you how to convert your house plants into semi-hydro substrates, how to make your plant care even more simple and easy, and how to just make plants to where you don't have to water them nearly as often, because once you move these plants into semi-hydro substrates like Lechuza Pond, and today I will be using Leca, you just have a water reservoir that you would just fill up maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month, depending on the water levels you have in your water reservoir. But you can see right here, I'm just going to take a little bit more time on cleaning the soil by making sure I am rinsing off as much of the soil off of the roots as possible. You can see that these roots are very healthy. I mean, they're nice, white, and thick. I love Aglaonema roots, and Aglaonema plants in general are easy to convert in semi-hydro as well. Now, plant folies, it can be a tedious process when cleaning off the roots, but again, it is imperative that your roots are as clean as possible, making sure that you are getting rid of as much of the soil as possible. It's really going to make sure that the conversion from soil to semi-hydro substrate like Leca, it will just make it a more easy transition. You'll have a higher success rate with the roots actually acclimating to the Leca or Lechuza pond, whichever one you choose. Today, I'll be using Leca because I feel like Leca is a little bit more cost effective than Lechuza pond. And honestly, I haven't been able to source out Lechuza pond. That would be my primary choice if I was going to use semi-hydro, but Leca really works, especially for plants like Aglaonema or even the Monstera Thai Constellation, because they have thicker roots versus fine root plants like Alocasia that do better with the actual Lechuza pond. But the next step would be this next one right here, and that would be to thoroughly spray all of the roots, the undersides of the leaves, the tops of the leaves, in between the nodes, the stems of the plant, with a neem oil spray, or some people can use insecticidal soap. I prefer to use neem oil spray, and I'm actually using a We the Wild bottle. That's actually neem oil that you can buy from wethewild.com, but I'm just using the bottle. I ended up making a DIY neem oil spray that I use on all my plants whenever I buy plants, either at a big box store, when I've gone plant shopping, or just shopping in general for plants. It's just a good way to make sure that there are no plant pests lingering on the leaves or even on the stems and even the roots. It's really important because once you get a plant into semi-hydro like Lechuza pond or Leca, for instance, you won't really be able to use systemic granules to prevent plant pests. And for me, I like to just go with more of caution. Even though I've already washed the roots out, I am going to go ahead and spray this plant with some neem oil spray. So what I do is I actually make a formula using a standard spray bottle. What I do is I use 2 tablespoons of cold pressed neem oil that I can buy from Amazon, the organic form. I'd use 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, either 70% strength or 90% strength. You can get 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide, 1 drop of liquid dish soap. Put that all into a spray bottle, and then fill up the spray bottle all the way to the top with just water. Shake, 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 and you have an instant disinfecting spray that will kill any of the plant pests and will actually prevent the plant pests from lingering on the leaves. I spray my plants often with the neem oil spray just because I felt like it actually has been very effective in my plant collection. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm just taking each plant and spraying them down, spraying the roots, the undersides of the leaves again, and the tops of the leaves. And I will let this solution sit there for a good 5 minutes just to make sure that all of the potential pests like thrifts, spider mites, mealybugs are eradicated. And then I will go back and rinse the roots. I may leave some of the neem oil solution on the tops of the leaves as well, because it does give it a natural, beautiful leaf shine as well. Once the neem oil spray or insecticidal soap has settled into the plants for about 5 minutes, this step 4 would be just to wash off the solution off of the roots. Sometimes I will just leave the neem oil spray on the actual leaves, because then it would prevent any like spider mites or any pests from really living in that neem oil. It is a nice and organic way to prevent plant pests. And right now I'm just going to take the time to at least wash the neem oil from the roots. And the reason why I want to do that is I don't really want the neem oil, the rubbing alcohol, the dish soap to sit in the semi-hydro substrate like Leca, because it may end up damaging the roots. I mean, it's not that harmful, but at the same time I would rather sterilize the roots, because again, the health of the plant really depends on the roots. You know, as far as my import plant videos that I've done in terms of like the unboxing videos, say from Green Spaces ID, this is the same process in converting plants, but you can see that I had to take that extra step to remove all of the soil from the roots. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting on whether I just go ahead and wash off all of the neem oil or leave it on the leaves. It's really up to you, but it is imperative that you wash the roots. Again, you know, the biggest point in terms of just converting plants to semi-hydroponics is having some viable roots and making sure your roots are as clean as possible, because if you have soil sitting there or a lot of soil, it can potentially rot the roots. But if there's just a little bit, I wouldn't say it would really damage the plant, but on a to be a little bit more cautious, to really increase the potential of the plant to convert into semi-hydroponics, you really want to make sure that the roots are clean. And I know that I've repeated myself multiple times in the video, but that is a very crucial step to it. And one thing I will say is, even if you convert the plants and follow every step, sometimes some plants may not acclimate to semi-hydroponics, and you may have some failures, but for the most part, I've had really good successes. I've only had a couple of plants not make the conversion. Once they do get converted into their new substrate, it just makes plant care a lot easier. And as far as pests, you won't really have a lot of fungus gnats, because fungus gnats need to live on like moist soil versus like the Leca, where they won't really be able to bury their eggs. So correct me if I'm wrong. If you are more versed in the semi-hydroponic substrate conversion, please leave your insights in the comments. And if you're enjoying this type of content, again, please make sure you are hitting and pressing the thumbs up or like button. Leave some comments for me. And if you want to continue to grow this channel, you can also share my video to anybody else that might want to learn how to convert plants to semi-hydroponic substrate. So right now, again, plant foldies, I am just cleaning the roots and making sure that I wash off all the neem oil. Step 5 would be to make the nutrient water solution that I'm going to use to put in the water reservoir for the semi-hydroponics. What you want to do is get a gallon container like this. I'm just using a purified gallon of water. I'm going to put a little bit of water, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a tiny bit of Super Thrive. Super Thrive is B vitamins that helps with plant revival. It de-stresses the plant and really gives it that vigor. And then once you put that Super Thrive, I'll go ahead and put a little bit of water again and put another type of solution. So this is We the Wild Grow Concentrate. This is another organic, very mild fertilizer. It's actually a combination of, I believe, earthworm castings and some other nutrients for it. So I'm just going to use a quarter of a tablespoon of this solution. This will not burn the roots, but I'm going to go ahead and put that into into the water again, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse the tablespoon and then put another layer of water. What you don't want to do is mix all of your solution all at once without having the water diluted first. So that's a really important part of the mixture. And you know, a lot of people have asked me questions about what I use for my nutrient solution. So now I'm using the Super Tribe Protect solution. I bought this from Amazon, and what this is actually a silica solution, which makes the roots more durable. It makes the plant a lot stronger. It makes it more drought tolerant, heat tolerant, and it actually helps with root rot prevention. So I'm just going to use a half a tablespoon of that, and then mix that into the solution again. And if you notice, every time I put a solution or some kind of chemical in there, I'm going to go ahead and dilute it with some water. You don't want to mix a bunch of these chemicals all at once because you'll get a different type of reaction. You want to dilute it. And then this is the Bush Doctor Fox Farms Boomerang fertilizer. So this is one that I bought from a grocery store called HEB, but you can actually buy this from Amazon as well, the Fox fertilizer. And I'm going to put just a very fourth of amount of tablespoon there, just a trace amount of this for the solution. And what I like to use this for is it's supposed to be meant for plants revival. So if you have a struggling plant, you can use that solution. But obviously, if you've noticed, plant foldies, I've used a very small amount on each of the doses. It's actually asking for 1 tablespoon per gallon of water, but you can see that I'm just micro dosing it. I always say with fertilizers, less is more. And then I'm actually using this Fox Farm fertilizer as well. This is another grow concentrate, and this will actually help the plant establish. This is just a very tiny amount. You can see it's probably a fourth of a tablespoon. And then obviously I will go ahead and mix that into the solution as well. And that's basically what I'm putting in my nutrient solution. Let me know in the comments if you have other nutrient solutions, but this has worked well for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up, fill the whole gallon of jug of water, shake it really good so all of the solution is diluted into it. And then I'm going to use it to water the Leca, and then also to put it in the water reservoir, but I'm going to still dilute that nutrient solution even further, and you'll see on the next steps. Step 6 to converting your plants into semi-hydroponic substrate like Leca is actually potting up the plant in the Leca substrate. So I bought this Leca from IKEA. It is only for $9.99 this whole bag. So what I'm going to do is actually get a scoop of this and get to potting up my plant. So all of the plants have been cleaned out. The roots are nice and sterile. And I'm going to go ahead and take my catch pot. I'm going to put the little self-watering wick here, and it's important that you have a self-watering wick, or at least I feel like it's critical. And then you're going to go ahead and put just maybe a small layer at the bottom of the Leca, and then I'm going to pull the wick further up the string so that way it's not sitting at the very base of the plant. You want it to be kind of further in the middle of the self-watering planter so it can actually draw up that water and the nutrients up to the plant. And you can see right here, this is the Aglaonema that has no ID. I'm not 100% sure what it is. And I'm going to pot it up further down into the pot. And then I'm just going to take the Leca right there and then just make sure that I continue to just evenly distribute it around the catch pot. And I'll try to like tap at it, make sure to shake it so that way there are no big air pockets. It also gets rid of some of the debris and dust of the Leca, because the next step, which would be step 7, is to actually rinse the Leca. Some people don't do that, but I just feel like it's just a neater way of doing it. I try to work neatly whenever I'm doing these plant chores. This has been very relaxing for me. And like I've shared with all my viewers and subscribers, my plant foldies, I did have a little bit of plant burnout. And so a lot of it had to do with me having to stay on top of the watering for my plants. So now that I've really discovered and found success in growing my plants in semi-hydroponic substrates like Leca, it has made things so easy. It's made things simple. It's made me want to buy more plants. But even if I buy more plants, the care is a lot easier because I consider myself an underwaterer with a very busy schedule. I would just say converting your plants into semi-hydro substrates, it's going to make your life easier. And you can see right here, I'm going to keep repeating the steps. If you have any questions or comments throughout this video, again, please feel free to leave in the comment section your questions, but I'm just going to repeat the same process of making sure I have a wick string pulled up to the middle and then putting a small bottom layer of the leca and then planting the aglaonema further down into the pot, because aglaonema, if you want them to be a little bit more, more full and less leggy, you want to go ahead and plant them further down versus just planting them right at the base of the plant. It gives you a little bit more leeway. And with this aglaonema green army, there are 3 planted. I could separate them into 3 different planters, but I'm going to go ahead and keep all 3 of them in the same planter just because I want a more full plant. And whenever you're separating plants, you create more plants, and I already have more than 100 houseplants in my plant collection. I finally got them organized, and to me, sometimes unnecessary plant propagation is not necessary. That's where we end up getting ourselves overwhelmed. And the purpose of this tutorial is to really introduce everybody that might be interested in trying semi-hydroponic substrates, like using Leca and just using the steps that I've put. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on it, but this has really worked out for me in the last couple of months. But you can see right here, I am just tapping the sides of the catch pot, making sure that all of the air pockets are taken care of. And I will continue to do that for the rest of the plants. plant foldies, you'll notice that I separated the 2 Aglaonema that I potted up previously, as well as this Aglaonema stripes. I went ahead and took both of the plants and separated them to where I'm going to put them in 2 separate self-watering planters. I just feel like these plants are going to be easy to either gift. I may end up giving it to some plant friends or just adding it to my plant collection. I don't mind having multiple plants. And again, plant foldies, if you are enjoying this type of content, please make sure you're hitting the like button for this video. I definitely want to see if you have any questions about the conversion of semi-hydro substrates. I do recommend using self-watering planters. I ended up getting a 14 pack from Amazon for a really good price. And you can see right here, whenever you're planting plants in semi-hydro like Leca, you want to plant the plant further down, especially if it's an Aglaonema. If you notice the placement, I have the wick string right underneath the roots, so it can definitely pull that water from the water reservoir into the plant, and it'll just keep it moist and keep it hydrated. And that's the whole purpose of self-watering planters as well as semi-hydro, is it prevents you from having to water the plant as often. What'll happen is the roots will become semi-hydro, so it's not really going to be full-blown water roots, but the roots will also not just be soil roots, if that makes any sense. It just kind of is in the middle, and it just simplifies the plant care. I'm already using easy care plants. Like, you can keep Aglaonema in a soil substrate, but for me, putting these plants in semi-hydroponics also makes plant pests a little bit less prevalent. For some reason, it just makes the plant care easier, and to me, it's got a cleaner look about it. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, if you've actually used Leca, what your thoughts are. You already know, plant foldies, I love the engagement on the channel, and I will be doing more how to do tutorials with my plant content alongside with my big box store plant shopping videos. I mean, all of these plants were either sourced out from Walmart or a local nursery. And then you can see right here, I am potting up one more philodendron. This is a philodendron black cardinal. I actually bought this philodendron from PlantCon 2024 in Dallas. It was actually bought from Green Spaces ID, which is a Indonesian plant nursery that ships internationally. I just wanted an easy, beautiful, dark foliage philodendron. This has been sitting in water for about 2 months, and I forgot about it, but now I want to go ahead and pot it up as well and put it in semi-hydro substrate. So let me know in the comments if you've ever bought or imported plants from overseas. If you want to buy from greenspaces.id, that is the website, you can use my promo code GrowFolds20 for 20% off your entire purchase. Follow them on Instagram as well, Greenspaces ID. And if you need me to connect you with them, I can put you on a group chat to where we can set up an order for you. I really do trust Greenspaces ID. I actually have another international haul coming very soon, another plant haul, but hopefully you've enjoyed this process so far. This is my haul of plants, and then the last step, or at least the final step to converting your plants to semi-hydro substrates, is to actually rinse and water the plants and then get them into a water reservoir. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to start off with this Monstera Thai Constellation. I didn't show how I potted this up just because it was pretty big, but let's just say that I'm using a 8.5-inch clear pot, and I went ahead and just took these plants back into the sink. And what you want to do is really rinse out the Leca or lechuza pond, whichever one you're choosing to use. Today I'm using Leca, and making sure that you're rinsing it, and then I will go use a diluted form of the nutrient water to just water it one time, and then I will put water in the reservoir, and then you're done with the conversion. So I wanted to let you know that I'm only filling up the watering can with half of the nutrient solution, and then I'm going to dilute it even further with just regular water. Again, less is more. You just want trace amounts of the nutrient solution. And then once I get that little mixture set up to where it's diluted, I'm just going to go back and water the Leca one more time. And then I'm going to get it set up to where the water reservoir is going to be set. I usually fill up the water reservoir about halfway or close to halfway, just depending on the plant. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Some people say do not fill up the water reservoir, but I just found that it's better to go ahead and get that water reservoir going, so that way the self-watering planter can start absorbing that nutrients as well as just the water to keep the plant alive. There is that substrate where it's going to have to convert the roots into more of like semi-hydro versus water versus soil, if that makes sense. So you can see right here, I'm going to go ahead and use this IKEA planter, and I got it on clearance. I ended up getting this 8-inch planter, 8.5-inch planter for just $8. So I am going to go ahead and fill it up with nutrient solution, and then I'm going to go ahead and dilute it. I'm going to fill this planter up about halfway, or just right underneath halfway, and then I'm going to go ahead and place my Monstera Thai Constellation that I ended up buying at Walmart. Again, if you haven't already seen my big box store plant shopping videos, Walmart has a bunch of new houseplants for 2025 and Monstera Thai Constellations for only $29.97. Definitely check that out. But this is my first time converting a Monstera Thai Constellation in semi-hydro, and you can see that that is the first conversion, and we're going to go ahead and repeat the process on all of my other plants. Right here, again, I'm just going to water and rinse out all of the Leca just to make sure it's nice and clean, and then I'm going to go ahead and water it with my nutrient solution that is actually diluted even further. So I fill up my watering can halfway with the nutrient solution that I pre-mix, put just regular water, and then water it again. Repeat those steps multiple times, and I will show you how to get the self-watering reservoir set up, and then we're going to go to the final steps of this conversion. I'm going to go ahead and take this 5-inch self-watering planter. So this is the reservoir. I'm going to go ahead and fill up the reservoir where the line shows with the nutrient solution. And then I'm going to go ahead and dilute the nutrient solution even further and fill it up with just regular water. And I'm going to fill up the reservoir about halfway. I might just put a little bit of nutrient solution since it's already super diluted, just a trace amount. And then I'm just going to stick the wick there, and voila, I've got a converted plant in a self-watering planter, semi-hydroponic. That is my philodendron black cardinal. So it's really easy, and I really want to continue to do these plant chores. I also want to show you guys how I manicure my plants, how I clean the leaves, how I maintain the plants. And you know, there's this new sense of inspiration I have as far as making more plant content. You already know I try my very best to do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, but I think I'm going to go ahead and pivot to a more personalized content. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see more of these types of videos, or do you want me to just continue to make plant shopping videos? I mean, I love shopping, but I also love showing my knowledge for the plant. So this has been fun, just showing you how to convert plants into a semi-hydro substrate to where it's going to make your plant care a lot easier. It's going to be simple, and you're going to find more joy because the simplicity majority of the care when it comes to semi-hydro, you'll have more time to actually enjoy your plants versus feeling like you're spending an entire day watering your plants. And to me, that's what really has made plant care and has really rejuvenated my interest in plants, because I was starting to experience plant burnout. And if you haven't watched the plant podcast that I'm part of, it's called Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast on YouTube with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants. Definitely check that out, because we did talk about solutions on how to get out of plant burnout. I do believe every single person that has collected plants or has grown plants, whether it's outdoor plants or indoor tropical plants, has experienced plant burnout. Feel free to share your plant burnout solutions in the comment section. I always ask anybody that watches my videos to comment, because I love the engagement, I love the interaction, and I just love sharing this community with the plant foldies. So let me continue to just show you this process of rinsing the leca and then getting these plants into their nutrient solution. You can see that I love using catch pots like this. You can purchase these on Amazon. If you're not following me on Instagram at GrowFolds, please do. If you have any questions, that is the fastest way to get in touch with me directly, or leave comments if you have any questions about this process so far. And the final step to converting your plants to semi-hydroponic substrate is once you've watered your plants and gotten them into their self-watering planter with the water reservoir and the nutrient solution, I use We the Wild Plant Protect solution. So We the Wild Protect Neem Oil Solution. You can buy this at wethewild.com. I love this because it does have a neem oil solution into it, but it also has neat leaf shine, and it's just a really good solution to put on any of your plants. So like even if you're not doing conversion on your semi-hydro substrates, I use this We the Wild Neem Oil Spray. It is a little bit more costly as compared to using my DIY folding mist. I use this to really curate and manicure my plants. You know, there is a level of care that you want to put into your plants. So like for me, this is something that I haven't really shared on the YouTube channel, is I like my plants to look super clean, super shiny, and I love using We the Wild Neem Oil Spray. It's called Protect. You can actually buy this solution at a big box store called Target. If you go to Target, they actually have the full kit where you have the microfiber gloves. You can see I have some microfiber gloves, and what you do is you'll spray the solution on the stems of the leaves, the tops of the leaves, and the bottoms of the leaves, and you can just gently rub and massage the plant leaves to where it's going to be shiny. You're going to get rid of any potential plant pests, and that layer of neem oil will also protect it from any potential plant pests like thrifts, fungus gnat eggs, as well as spider mites. I like spraying We the Wild Protect Neem Oil Spray. So it is my go-to, and this is what I'm going to do. And then I'll give you my final thoughts on converting plants to semi-hydro substrates. Super relaxing for me. I love doing plant chores, and honestly, you will be seeing a lot more plant chores, relaxing videos where I'm a little bit more chatty, or actually I'm less chatty as compared to some of my big box store plant shopping videos. Again, let me know if you like this new type of content as well, because I will definitely be sharing this for the new year. 2025 is super exciting, and I am going to pivot to more of a personalized plant YouTube channel versus just doing plant shopping videos. Plant Foldies, this is the final product of taking plants that were in soil substrates from a big box store or a local nursery and turning them into semi-hydroponic substrate with Leca. Look at the leaves on my Monstera Thai Constellation that I bought from Walmart for $29.97. And then as I pan around here, I have an Aglaonema stripes. Now, as far as the care tips, whenever you're putting a plant in semi-hydro substrates, I would say now that they're in their self-watering planter with a water reservoir, I would keep the water reservoir at least 50% full or maybe down to 30%. And then you can either refill it with new nutrient water or you can go ahead and just add some more water in general. Again, as far as like nutrient solution, you already saw how I actually made that solution. It's super easy. And what I would do with these plants is if you're able to put them under a grow light or bright indirect light, that way you're giving the plant the most optimal care for it to really establish. Because again, when you think about it, these plants were put under a little bit of shock, you know, taking them from a soil substrate and then washing them off, putting them in a new substrate, a semi-hydro substrate. So there is going to be some decline in their health. I mean, the plants look perfect, or at least I believe they look great, especially taking that extra time to put neem oil spray, using Weed the Wild Protect neem oil spray, and using microfiber gloves to really rub that in and get the leaf shine in there. I mean, Plant Foldies, let me know in the comments, but this is what I was talking about in terms of curating your plants, making sure that you're taking that extra step to really make your plants look the very best that you can. I'm really proud of this process, and I've actually had a lot of fun showing you the step-by-step process on simplifying your houseplant care by making your plants into semi-hydro substrates like Leca. And you can see right here, this is my Monstera Thai Constellation. If you do see some leaves start to fall off or decline in health, that's just the plant acclimating to its new environment. It will bounce back, so have no fear. And sometimes some plants may not take that conversion and may actually fail, but for the most part, I've had some really good success. And once the plant has really acclimated to its semi-hydro substrate, it's going to make your plant care easy, because then all you have to do is refill the substrate or the water reservoir with more water, with more nutrient solution. Now, I'm not an expert in terms of like fertilizers or nutrient solution you can put with your plants. I have just used that I showed you earlier, but for the most part, I have just had a lot of fun converting my plants into semi-hydro. I think for the new year, as I continue to do more plant content, I will start showing you more of my plant collection. So if you like this plant haul today from my plant shopping videos, let me know in the comment section what you thought. And as always, please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up button or the like button for this video. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you know somebody who wants to convert their plants to semi-hydro substrate, share it and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next one.